Hey, rugby fans. We're diving deep today into a story that has got everyone talking.
Oh, yeah.
Elton Jantjies.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him? Banned Springbok fly half.
Of course.
Well, he's finally broken his silence in an interview, and it's a tell-all
Oh, really?
on the Behind the Ruck podcast.
Okay, interesting.
And let me tell you, things get really interesting.
What's he saying?
Well, before we get into all that,
Yeah.
a 4-year ban for a 34-year-old player.
Yeah, that's
That's not just a setback.
yeah, it's huge.
It's a potential career killer.
Yeah, you're talking about prime years for a fly half. Gone just like that.
Gone. Poof.
And he still insists he's innocent.
Right. It's got to be a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, so what's he been up to?
So what's he been doing with himself?
Yeah,
Surely not just twiddling his thumbs, right?
I would hope not.
He's been coaching
Oh, wow.
youngsters at the rugby school in Johannesburg.
Okay, so like he's channeling that energy in a different direction.
Yeah, it's like he's taken this massive blow
Hmm.
and turned it into a way to nurture the next generation of players.
That's quite the pivot.
Makes you wonder, though,
Yeah.
can he be a positive influence given everything that's happened?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, there's potential there for some incredible mentorship,
Yeah.
you know, guiding these kids not just on skills, but on navigating the pressures of the sport.
Yeah.
But then you have the shadow of the ban,
Right.
the whispers of doubt,
It's a complex dynamic,
to say the least.
for sure. And speaking of navigating pressure,
Yeah.
Jantjies talks a lot about his fitness regime
Okay.
being his therapy,
Right.
his medicine, he calls it.
Oh, wow.
He even compares himself to boxing giants like Tyson Fury and Mike Tyson,
Oh, wow.
guys who use training to fight their demons.
Yeah, that comparison is so revealing because
Yeah.
it speaks to a universal truth about athletes,
Okay.
that the mental game is just as important as the physical one.
For sure.
You know, these guys push themselves to the limit, and that takes a toll.
It does.
So they find outlets, ways to channel that intensity.
Right.
And for Jantjies, it seems that outlet is fitness.
And he's not just doing it for himself.
No?
He's talking about it openly.
Okay.
Almost like he wants to inspire other players who might be struggling.
Right.
He even said something about how some guys in his position
Yeah.
might have gone off the rails,
Uh-huh.
which is a heavy realization.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It highlights the often invisible pressures that these athletes face.
Right.
We see the glory on the field,
Mm-hmm.
but we rarely glimpse the internal battles.
Right.
And his willingness to be vulnerable about it,
Yeah.
that could have a ripple effect. Maybe it encourages others to open up to
Yeah.
seek help.
So he's turning this incredibly personal struggle into a way to connect with others, to offer a lifeline.
Yeah,
It's powerful stuff.
it is.
So we've got a guy facing a potentially career-ending ban,
Yeah.
coaching the next generation,
Mm-hmm.
using his platform to talk about mental health.
Wow.
It's not the story we expected,
Right.
but it's definitely one worth following.
And it begs the question, where does he go from here?
Ooh.
Can he make a comeback?
Yeah.
Can he redefine his role in the rugby world?
Now that's a question every rugby fan wants answered.
I bet.
But before we delve into that, let's go back to the source.
Okay.
What else stood out to you from the Behind the Ruck interview?
Well, there was this one detail that really caught my attention.
Okay.
He talked about how his dad instilled this intense focus on fitness when he was a kid
Okay.
because he was, and I quote, overweight and chubby. It's almost like this foundation of using physical activity to overcome challenges was laid way back then.
Wow. So it's not just a response to the ban.
Right.
It's woven into his personal history.
Right.
It makes his comparison to Fury and Tyson even more potent.
Yeah.
These aren't just random names he's dropping. They're symbols of resilience etched into his mindset from childhood.
Absolutely. And remember, he's not boasting about being in peak physical condition.
Right.
He even admits he might not be.
Right.
But it's the mental clarity, the
Yeah.
feeling of peace it brings him.
Yeah.
That's the real medicine here.
It's like he's saying, look, I'm not letting this ban break me. I'm taking control of what I can control.
Right.
And that's my body, my mind.
Exactly.
It's a powerful message for anyone facing adversity on or off the field.
And it ties into this larger conversation about athlete well-being. We often put these guys on pedestals, celebrate their physical prowess,
Yeah.
but forget they're human beings dealing with immense pressure and scrutiny.
Right.
Jantjies opening up about his struggles.
Yeah.
It humanizes the athlete experience in a way we rarely see.
He's not just an athlete. He's a guy grappling with a massive career blow.
Right.
And he's choosing to fight back not with bitterness, but with self-improvement.
I like that.
It's inspiring, really.
It's a reminder that resilience comes in many forms. And sometimes the most powerful form is not about shouting from the rooftops.
Right.
But about quietly chipping away at your own challenges, building yourself back up piece by piece.
And speaking of building, let's talk about his coaching.
Okay.
He's working with these young players, many of whom probably idolize Springboks.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think he can have on them knowing his story?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, really.
Right.
On the one hand, you have a guy who's reached the pinnacle of the sport.
Right, a Springbok fly half.
Sharing his knowledge and experience, that's invaluable.
Yeah.
But then there's the elephant in the room.
And the ban.
The ban.
I bet.
The controversy.
So do you think his past mistakes could actually be a teaching moment?
Oh, absolutely.
Like a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of professional sport?
Totally. It adds this layer of realness, of vulnerability to his mentorship.
Right.
He can talk about the highs and lows, the pressures, the temptations in a way that someone who's had a perfect career can't.
It's like, look, I've been there. I've made mistakes. Here's what I learned.
Exactly.
It's a level of authenticity you don't often get from coaches, especially at that young age.
And who knows, maybe it's exactly what some of these kids need to hear.
Yeah.
The polished success story is inspiring, but it can also feel unattainable.
Right.
Jantjies' story, with its flaws and setbacks, it makes success feel more relatable, more human.
It's like he's saying, hey, even Springboks stumble, but it's how you get back up that defines you.
Right.
That's a powerful message for any aspiring athlete.
It is.
But let's be real, the comeback question is looming large.
Yeah, yeah.
Can he actually return to professional rugby after a 4-year ban at his age?
It's the million-rand question, isn't it?
It is.
And honestly, it's hard to say. I mean, we've seen athletes bounce back from doping bans before.
Yeah.
But usually not at that stage of their careers.
Right. He'll be 38 when the ban lifts.
Yeah.
Fly half is a demanding position. Physically and mentally, can he realistically compete at that level?
He'll need to be in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
Both physically and mentally.
Right.
And more than that, he'll need a team willing to take a chance on him.
Yeah.
There's always reputational risk involved.
But what if, and hear me out here.
Okay.
What if he uses this time to reinvent himself? He's already focused on fitness, on mentoring.
Yeah.
Could he come back as a player coach?
Yeah.
A leader who guides both on and off the field?
That's a fascinating thought.
Right?
It's not unheard of.
No.
I mean, we've seen veteran players transition into coaching roles while still playing.
Right.
It could be a way for him to leverage his experience, his story, to add value to a team in a unique way.
It would be a bold move, but it could also be brilliant.
Yeah.
A testament to his adaptability, his commitment to the sport, even in the face of setbacks.
I like it.
It would be a comeback story unlike any we've seen before.
And let's not forget the symbolic power of such a return.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine Jantjies back on the field, a Springbok jersey on his back, having weathered the storm, a testament to resilience and redemption.
It would be a powerful message, not just to rugby fans, but to anyone facing their own seemingly insurmountable challenges.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got the inspiring comeback scenario.
Right.
But let's flip the script for a moment.
Okay.
What if, despite his best efforts, a return to professional rugby just isn't in the cards?
Yeah.
What then?
What then?
Well, even if he doesn't play professionally again, his impact on the sport doesn't have to end.
Right.
He's already making waves as a coach, a mentor.
Right.
He's using his platform to speak openly about athlete mental health.
He could become a voice for positive change within rugby.
Totally.
Advocating for better support systems, for a more holistic approach to athlete well-being.
Imagine him working with young players across the country, sharing his story, his lessons learned, helping them navigate the pressures and temptations of the sport.
Right.
He could become a force for good, a guardian of the next generation.
He could turn this setback into a legacy that transcends his playing career.
Exactly.
It's a different kind of victory, but a victory nonetheless.
And sometimes those off-the-field victories resonate even louder.
Yeah.
More lasting impact.
For sure.
It's like he's building a bridge from his past to the future of rugby, ensuring that even if his name isn't on the scoreboard, his influence is felt for generations to come.
Okay, so we've explored the comeback possibilities, the potential for mentorship, and the larger impact he could have on the sport even without playing professionally.
Right.
It's clear that Elton Jantjies, despite this massive hurdle, is determined to write his own narrative.
And it's a narrative worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
It's a story of resilience, reinvention, and the enduring power of passion.
That is.
Even if the final chapter hasn't been written yet, it's clear that Elton Jantjies isn't done making his mark on the world of rugby.
It's amazing how this story has unfolded. We started off talking about a ban, a potential career ender, and now we're discussing legacy mentorship and even a possible comeback. It's a testament to Jantjies' character that he's not letting this define him.
Right, and let's not forget, all of this stems from one podcast interview.
Right.
It makes you realize how much power there is in sharing your story and being vulnerable.
Think about all the young players, the fans, who might be going through their own struggles. To hear a Springbok, a guy who's reached the top, talk about his challenges so openly, it's got to be incredibly validating.
It breaks down the myth of the perfect athlete, the idea that success is a straight line with no bumps along the way.
Right.
Jantjies' story is a reminder that setbacks are part of the journey, and it's how you respond to them that matters.
It's like he's saying, hey, even Springboks are human. We make mistakes. We have doubts, but we keep pushing forward. It's a message that resonates far beyond the rugby field.
Absolutely. It's a message of resilience, of hope, of taking ownership of your narrative, even when things feel out of control. And for a sport like rugby, which is built on camaraderie and overcoming adversity, that message is incredibly powerful.
So where do we go from here? As rugby fans, what should we be watching for in the Elton Jantjies saga?
Well, first and foremost, keep an eye on his work at the Rugby School. Is he able to translate his experience into tangible results for those young players? Does he become a sought-after mentor shaping the future of South African rugby?
And of course, the comeback question is still out there. Will a team take a chance on him? Will we see him back in a Springbok jersey? Only time will tell, but it's a prospect that's sure to keep rugby fans on the edge of their seats.
And even if the professional playing career doesn't materialize, watch for his influence off the field. Will he become a vocal advocate for athlete mental health? Will he use his platform to inspire and guide the next generation?
It's like we're witnessing the evolution of Elton Jantjies in real time, from Springbok fly half to mentor to advocate to who knows what's next. It's a story that's far from over, and we're all invited to watch how it unfolds.
And that's the beauty of the deep dive, isn't it? We take these seemingly simple stories and uncover the layers of complexity, the human element, the bigger picture.
We don't just report the facts. We explore the why behind them, the motivations, the struggles, the triumphs. And in doing so, we discover that even the most familiar stories can surprise us, challenge us, and leave us with more questions than answers.
So to all you rugby fans out there, keep your eyes on Elton Jantjies. His journey is a testament to the enduring spirit of the sport, a reminder that even when the game seems over, there's always another chapter waiting to be written.
And that's it for our deep dive into the world of Elton Jantjies. We hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that rugby passion burning bright.